And we're back.
What up, y'all?
It's Motha.
Knows.
Because we be what?
We be knowing.
All the time. God is good.
And
Motha knows.
Knowing. Right. God is great. We here. We back. So what we talking about today?
Marriage part 2, honey. Let's get into it.
Part 2.
Yep.
And it's nothing more that we love to talk about than our boo thing.
Right. Because we done got through the what?
The lies. I like to talk about other stuff too.
We done got through the what? We got through the what? Through the covenant.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So what's new? Now that we got the covenant out the way, what we talking about?
I mean, let's talk about like the day-to-day, the daily, like the everyday things about marriage where yes, we got our foundation, we're in God,
we're alive. God is
one sinner. But yeah, put them dishes up, please, because I've asked you like 5 times.
So let's just that's I like that. We're gonna get into the petty. Because one thing marriage will bring out is your petty.
Won't it?
It will.
Like the counting, the rationing, the who did what last.
I just changed and you try her diaper. It's your turn.
Especially the poopy ones. Like especially, I know you smell that poopy diaper walking by you. Mm-hmm. Like who gonna
and y'all both be quiet. Trying to wait and see who's gonna catch
it first.
Like we both know we both smelled that diaper.
See the diaper hanging down, see it just loose swinging. Right.
And as women, we be like,
because I done did it the last 3 times. She gonna come to me, to ask me to change it. Right. Like he better speak up.
And I'm gonna say this, talking about last time we talked about how you want to come prepared and things that you want to think about when you're aligning with somebody and doing this for everything with somebody. So for me, I was thinking about how I was intentional, right? Like my husband and I, we talked about finances. Mm-hmm. We talked about, our values, mm-hmm. our future goals with each other. The one thing I didn't cover, and if y'all know me, y'all know, the one thing Ariel did not cover, Child. And I don't know how I did not, the way he chews gum.
Because listen, growing up in Robin's house, if she
heard you
chewing, it was a problem. Like, right. Like close your mouth.
Zip it.
Stop smacking.
All right. And I can run you down, y'all. I can run it down, all of it. Smacking, mincing.
Yeah, all of it.
Slurping.
Like, I shouldn't hear anything when you're chewing. Like
the liquids, unless when you're like chewing gum, I'll be looking at him like,
why do I hear the spit in your mouth?
Please.
Exactly.
Stop. It's like nails on the chalkboard.
But I do think it's like a male female thing because my daughter, like, she looks at my son and she's like, can you please stop smacking? She'd be like, Mommy, can I go eat in my room? Because I just can't.
I can't. I'm not doing it today. And I'd be looking at my husband like, bruh. I have to have that internal, okay, Ariel, this is you, not him.
For real. Because it can't be that bad. No, but okay, newborn phase, right? Okay. Y'all exhausted, tired.
Ooh, yes.
Baby cries in the middle of the night. And your husband can sleep through.
You be looking at
the baby hollering, screaming, crying.
Bruh, you hear that?
Like we hear any little turn, like any little change in their breathing.
Correct.
Like how, sir, do you hear the baby?
Any little shift, you be like, and now let's take it back to pregnancy.
Girl.
When they just sitting there, sleeping comfortably, and you sitting there miserable,
stomach
big, out to here in that third trimester. Pregnancy pillow not helping.
No, you got to pee every hour.
The baby kicking you in the rib. You feeling like you just like eat something that's gnawing you from the inside, and you that hungry in the middle of the night. You know what I mean?
If you eat too much, it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be uncomfortable,
right?
So
and they just
looking at your husband like, oh, cool. You just sleep.
Yeah, mine was morning sickness. It was bad.
I didn't experience morning sickness.
And he would just be like, sorry, babe. It's okay. Like, please get off me right now.
That's another thing. When I was pregnant, there was a period of time where like his touch was like, please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
And that's not personal. It's just
it's not. It's
hormonal things we go through. Exactly.
But that's marriage.
That's marriage.
We dove in.
We did dive in, didn't we?
Right.
That's marriage though. Like just those. So what it teaches you is, okay, number one, I like how you brought up internal, right? Okay, a part of this is me. Like I need to understand like my flaws. I need to understand my triggers. Like why does this bother me this?
And those childhood traumas, like why did mommy put that in us? That somebody eating like that is annoying.
Girl, she heard Eddie smacking like, you know, like, we love you, Robin, but
right.
You knew we could not smack at your table, okay?
Right. And we better not. We'd be like.
So it's like, okay, that internal, like, let me bring up some of those roots, some of those, you know, maybe
like, what
trauma
based that's causing this visceral reaction.
This reaction because, you know, should I be this mad?
I shouldn't.
And then to compromise, right? So if you know, like, look, I am who I am. Smacking will bother me to the day that I, you know, transition. It is what it is. Let me just, okay, not say something.
Walk away.
Let them chew in peace.
Give them their space.
Exactly. Create some space. You know?
Because Keith will look at me like,
yeah, Jamaris too. Like,
I'm enjoying my
it's good.
Move.
Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
But also too, like having a son, I'm now more aware. Like, okay, like let him enjoy his food.
Right.
Like,
and it
this
really
is just
is a girl boy sometimes thing, you know.
Yep.
And they're just so like, you know, just nonchalant, like chill,
yeah, very
it.
chill.
It's like, why are
and
you
we're like,
hype?
Don't you get it?
Like it be tight. Like,
don't you understand? But yeah, compromise, right, and just working through those little differences. So,
and also too, we're talking about like the small petty stuff,
right?
But the things that come up that like are really important to you, like finances, or even like just how you are relating to your child. We talked about, you know, diapers being something that's kind of petty, but just how you guys relate to your child, and so if your spouse is doing something that's bothering you, I think, like you said, compromise with what comes with that is communication, healthy communication. You know, like I'm not going to bring it up. I try not to now. I'm not going to say I'm always perfect because I do still do it sometimes, but I try not to bring it up in the moment when it's like on my nerve, you know?
Like
on that one nerve,
it's probably going to come out in a way that's not received well, right?
Yeah.
And I need to work on that. Like, because
you got to get it
on
out.
my nerves, especially like the daily things. It's like, bruh, like I've said this, and it's not even with just him, like the kids. Like I've said this 1,000 times. Like, why?
And this is what you do when you've already had the conversation. Like it's that shimmy.
That shimmy. Like
already the body had this talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just, you know, some of the things that you work through in marriage. So finances, right, being something else. Like, how do we manage money? How do we spend? Like, what do we save? And two people have different perspectives on that. And so finding that balance in finances, you know, because if I can get myself something, or, you know, like treat myself to something, I'm probably going to do that. Whereas like,
we know. Me and you are complete. Me and Jamaris are like,
when it comes to $1, when it comes to $1,
we are the same. Like we're gonna hold on to that.
Hold that dollar tight, right?
But we also too I think we're just strategic, you know, when it comes to finances, because I've come out of like, this is another conversation, but my relationship with money was fear-based.
Yeah.
Just seeing a single mom, you know, and you know, try to stretch $1.
Right.
Make everything last.
Yeah.
I was like holding on, but it takes money to make money. So, you know, now I'm a little bit more comfortable with investing and, you know, looking into what risks I should take, but you know, weighing all the pros and cons before I do it.
Yeah.
But finances is huge for marriage, right?
Because
and I feel
that's
like
one of the leading causes of divorce is finances.
One of them. Yeah. And it's surprising to me how many people are uncomfortable having those talks in the beginning before you get married. But it's like, no, I want to know your credit score. I want to know what you're working with, what it's looking like. We had those talks.
But you know, it goes back to preparation too.
True.
Right. So some people will lean into fear and be like, not me, not us. Right. You know, and then some people it's just like they're on auto tune. Like it's just like they are moving through the motions, right, of having those conversations, and so it may not like be at the forefront, you know,
or ignoring them,
right, and just thinking that it's uncomfortable, that it'll just work itself out, you know. And again, I think that goes back to preparation. Like, what did I see in my environment? What did I learn growing up? What did I learn about marriage growing up? Like, all of those things play a factor. So I do think it's important that you know, couples that are thinking of marriage, like yes, premarital counseling is helpful, but also too individually. Understand who you are, find yourself a therapist, and really understand those triggers, those mechanisms, those patterns, like all of that, because that will impact how you show up on a day-to-day.
Yeah. And I would recommend too, not doing it like not jumping into all of that right when you're like getting serious with your partner, but trying to do it
before. Exactly. Yeah.
Because that work will bring up some stuff.
Yes.
And like, I mean, it's a process. Like
And
I'm in therapy now, you know, really kind of hitting it heavy since I had my second daughter almost a year ago, but I was really intentional about aligning all the things that I needed. Personal trainer for my physical, but mentally, emotionally, I got myself a new therapist here in the area where I moved in, and like it's really a lot of work. And some days I'm like I'm tired after it.
I'm emotionally
or
drained.
I'm emotionally drained, or I'm triggered. You know, like it's a lot.
All of that. Yep. Yeah. And so I think that it's important. You, like you said, like start it before, so you can come into your union like as grounded as you can.
Right.
There's always something. There's always something, because until you're with your partner, your spouse in that mirror, like you're not going to catch every single thing.
And even still, like it's just we talked about this, always becoming, like it's always going to be something that comes up, you know?
And that's why it's important to start it before you walk into that, because it could take, you learn something about yourself, you learn about your triggers or something that needs to be uprooted. That could be another year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Before you finally, are able to manage it and it doesn't drive how you respond and how you react to certain things.
And one thing I also learned too, here this past like 3 months, you uproot some stuff and you to protect yourself. Your body might tell you, you know what? I don't think I want to have a session for a good
right. I'm good for another. Yeah. I'm okay with working, processing, and working through this lesson I just learned. Like I'm good.
Yeah. So it might take a while before you get back in front of your therapist, because you've uprooted something, the last time around. And that happened with me. I reached out to my therapist and I was like, you know what? Sorry, that this kind of took, last priority. And she's like, well, maybe remember our last session, maybe what we discussed, your body was just telling you needed time.
It needed time. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? You're right, girl. You're right, girl.
Go take a nap. Go rest. Go relax. Go,
And I was gone for about 3 months. We brought up some stuff about daddy. I said, all right, I'm out.
Girl, I've had enough.
But she was too much. Right. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? You were on point on that one. Yeah. I think, intentionally, unintentionally, I was just like, I need some time.
That's a good point. Yeah, but I think too, like with marriage, also making sure that you maintain those sessions as couples as well, right?
Yeah,
so like a quarterly, biannually check-in, especially like in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
You're like, I mean, everything's good, everything's great. But as you start to have kids and you're married for 5 years or more, 10 years or more, like really, incorporate that into your lifestyle as a couple.
Yeah.
Because those constant check-ins, like you get so busy and just so heads down, and before you know it and look up, like maybe, you have resentment for something that happened 6 months ago.
And it's starting to
surface. And now you're having the conversation when you could have had it, a while back. So
I'm laughing because one thing that me and my husband laugh about is like, I'll bring something up. And my husband is one, I think he's like most men. They don't really bring things up.
Unless it's like a fire, like in a, like a big emergency.
Or getting back to petty.
I'll bring it up.
I'll bring something up, and then he starts. And I'm like, "What? This is about me and mine right now."
No facts, because you had all this like, don't step in on my moment. This is about
you bringing us up 3 months ago. Why didn't you address it
then? And then you look petty because you're like, nope, right? So yeah, so like those daily check-ins, yeah.
But I also, to your point, I think the beauty of making sure that you have something that's sustained and is regular, and it doesn't have to be frequent, but you are establishing a relationship with your therapist so that you're not, in the trauma and in the
chaos and we need to find somebody.
Yeah, that's hard.
Girl,
trying to establish something like, where you're like, I'm in the thick of it. I need some help now.
We need help now.
So if you're regularly going through those therapy sessions and you already have a relationship with your therapist, it's not new,
And it's unfortunate because sometimes you do learn the hard way. Like, oh, dang, we should have just stayed plugged in, because my husband and I went through that, like going through, like challenges in our marriage and like being like, okay, we need like somebody today,
Yep.
And now you have to search, and now you have to do the work, and find the therapist that you relate to and all of that. So yeah, definitely. And like
a lot of times it falls on the woman.
Yes, I will say, yep.
I'd be like, Keith, did you I'm so petty. I'm such a younger sibling because I'd be like, Keith,
did you do
I
something?
I gave you 2 tasks today. I did mine. Did you do yours? He'd be like, girl, if you don't,
Man is working from home, man is in court. You know?
right.
In between those hearings, did you?
Right. The task was both of us reach out to 2 possible. Did you do your
right?
part?
Exactly. Yep.
You'd be like, girl.
And I think so. I mean, okay, so communication style too. That because sometimes, right, when you find yourself in the thick of it, those passive aggressive moments where it's like, okay, let me just be more direct, softer, more direct. So there's no misinterpretation of what I'm saying, because when I like do my little thing of being passive aggressive and saying it with an attitude and maybe a little condescending, it's like in that moment, I probably mean to say it that way, but that's not the most effective way,
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked a little bit about this, but delivery is key, and you might have a valid point, but it's hard to hear it when you're coming at somebody sideways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's a constant battle because we meet our partners when we're adults. So we have solidified a foundation of how we communicate. And so it really is kind of a peeling back of layers to try to figure out how to best. And you're not just trying to better yourself for communication. You're thinking about how this person receives information, right? So it's how you receive information, how you usually deliver information, and you're relearning that. Then you're learning how your partner receives information.
And it's
totally,
it's totally different in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
I can talk about emotions every day. Like, okay, how are you feeling? How are you? And my husband is like, okay, once a month. Right.
Jam like, all right, girl.
Right. Where's all this coming from? And I'm like, you don't get it. Right. So I mean, just those daily things. And I also too think health is important, right? When you think about, and health can be a lot of things, but I'm thinking more of like just physical health. So is exercise important? Let's keep our bodies up. Like, let's maintain, that physical side so we can enjoy each other, hopefully, as long as we can. When we have kids, we can be, with them in their activities and move with them and play.
True. That's true.
I think that's also important in being aligned in that way with, when you're in a marriage.
One thing, my husband and I, so when we were dating, I was like, so when's the last time you went to the doctor? Do you have a primary care physician? He like, I mean,
I mean, nothing, ain't nothing come up.
Nothing's lined up. I'm like, boy, we need to work on this. Like, I need you to have a primary care doctor. I need you to have a, I need you to line these things up. We got the insurance. We ain't broke.
We ain't broke. We ain't broke no more.
Like, come on, boo.
We got the funds.
Get it together. Especially now that we have kids. Come on, line it up.
No, but the beautiful thing is, as you like stick in it and stay in it, you start to find that rhythm as a couple,
it's
right?
dope.
And so you start to have those deeper conversations around what the needs are and what do we bring individually as partners, and how do we lift each other up. I think that you start to really see that rhythm in one another. Not to say that life ain't gonna life.
Oh, it's gonna life.
Because life will life.
But that's the beauty of life, though.
Yeah.
It's growing you.
Yep.
That lifing is growing you.
And I like that you bring that up, because I think personally, like my partner and I, we're in a phase of, okay, we're evolving as people. Like what we needed 5 years ago, 2 years ago, it's not the same. Like we need different things now. Like how do we elevate this thing? Like how do we grow it? How do we, like maneuver and just refine it? And so I think that that's also something to consider is, as you begin to change as a person and, start to understand yourself at a deeper awareness and level, then you have to communicate that to your partner and pull them in.
Yep.
And they have to realign themselves to this new person that you're becoming, right? Both ways. I think that just having those foundational steps in place helps that transition be that much smoother. So
I like that point. You're like, come on with me now. We growing together.
We're growing, like,
I'm not leaving you behind. So come on.
Can't stay.
But yeah, that's true. And I think you have to respect too that people grow at their own pace.
Yep.
So just giving a little grace.
Yeah, giving grace,
partner
exactly,
is really important too. But I would be remiss if I didn't add, as an attorney, I just as couples, especially in the Black community, when you are getting married and thinking about it, just think about like financial advisor. Think about getting your will or trust together. Like think about all of that family planning that comes into play, because it's really important. And I think in our community, we don't do a good job of thinking about those things. Life insurance, all of that. Like, it's all important. And it's, nobody wants to talk about that stuff, but it's important for our community, because that's really, especially life insurance. I think that is the number one or number two way to increase the generational wealth in your family is life insurance.
Yeah, and in our
it's
community,
quick.
like
it's in one generation.
Yeah, in our community, we need those hacks. Like, we need those quick hacks, because a lot of times, to your point, we don't take care of business in that sense. And I'm grateful for my partner, because he's like, trust, life insurance, 401, like all of that. Like,
Jameer's called me. Y'all got life insurance? We got it, bro. I'm good.
Because I
know your number. And if we need another plan,
exactly,
I'm calling you.
But that was a challenge. Like, I'm not gonna say challenge, but a shift for me, right? A shift in my mindset to start thinking about those things. Because before I was like, like, I got the basics through my job, through my, but no, he was like, no, like, how can we do additional things, to make sure that our family is set?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, you're right. So
that's really smart.
Yeah, he transitions me in that way.
One thing we counsel, and as an attorney, like I said, one thing we counsel people on is you can't rely on your job's life insurance plan, because things change quickly. You could get terminated, you could go on leave, you don't know how those things affect your policy. So you should always have a personal policy as well.
Yep. You brought up work, and it made me think of work-life balance. Like, so for me in my house, like, I work at home. I've always pretty much been a remote worker. Jameer is in engineering, so he has to work those long hours. He has to, be on the phone. Office. He has to go into the office. And that it does impact that day-to-day too. Like, okay, who does pick up, drop off for the kids? Like, just, I think, not going into marriage, of course, being like, okay, what industry you in? Because I can't deal, and maybe if that's for you, but being mindful, like, I may have to shift the responsibility sometimes, and it may be me dropping the kids off, picking them up, because he's unable to do so.
Right. No, that's a good point. I mean, with my marriage, we are both, the breadwinners, if you will. We are both attorneys. He works, and he has to go into court. So, it's on days when things come up, if he's in court, he's in court. I got to pick it up, because I now work from home. And my job, actually, even when I was at a law firm, it's always been pretty flexible. They've been pretty, but for us, it really is there are no real roles. We just share in everything. Jump in as needed. So I appreciate that, because, it's just, it is what it is. Like, we got to get it done together.
Right.
And then we pull on Amina on up. Come on and help, boo. Give me that diaper.
Go get that diaper. Yeah, get that for mommy real quick. I'm good for that.
Poor Ari. We be like, Ari.
And Jameson.
We actually now are like, Jameson, come on.
Jump in.
Right. We know you know how to do it. Don't act.
Because he will get missing quick. Like, right. In his room, his video games, watching his TV. Yeah. So, but I think, just those daily, maybe petty things that we navigate. However, going back to foundation, it's the foundation that you set up. If that is, through God, if your foundation isn't something else. But just making sure that it drives the principles of the relationship, of the partnership.
Values are so
without
important.
Principles and values, it's going to be hard to not to make it, but to make it through the challenge, tough times. Through the tough times.
Because there's no like cornerstone of where you guys are leaning on,
Yep.
But I think that's, you hit it spot on.
Yeah.
But marriage is dope. I mean, it really is. Like, I think the initial conversation was around, celebrity announcements and things. But, in that day-to-day life, like I said, I'm surrounded by incredible couples. And I think that's one thing to be mindful of. Surround yourself with people who really uphold you, and not just your counselors, but like couples that you can hang out with, that you can trust,
that you can talk to about those day-to-day things. Yeah.
But I love the village that we've created.
Yeah. And I think, again, village in the good times and bad.
In the bad.
Like, I'm so thankful for my village. Like, like always being there through every cycle of marriage, where it's like, okay, in the good times, girl, we taking trips,
right.
In the tougher times, where it's like, child,
we in Turks and Caicos. But in the bad times, I'm calling you.
And you're there. That you're there to lift me up. So and lift us up as a family. So I think that's important. Yep.
Yeah, that's marriage, y'all.
On that day to day.
Right.
On that sometimes petty.
A lot of times, Betty.
A lot of times annoyed. Right. But if you have the right partner, you can get through those moments.
And it becomes funny.
It does become funny.
It's like a joke later.
Like this morning, like my husband was being extra, and I was like, "Please just stop.
Just stop.
Like, just stop.
We're not doing this.
Like, go in the house. Like, this is too much."
I'll go like this. On the other side.
Oh,
yeah.
The mic.
Yeah. Just making sure your hair not, we need that good sound, that good audio for our audience.
Ariel always watching, like, girl, just move it a little in the middle of my speech.
Yep.
Go like that real quick.
That's sisters, though.
Girl, I got a point. Like, that you're interrupted.
Get that right there. Nah, but we appreciate y'all. Continue.
We do. It's been so beautiful so far. Just like the engagement and people reaching out and giving us their thoughts. So we really appreciate y'all
cultivating this thing
and talking all things life.
Yes. Yeah. Appreciate.
So we're gonna head out.
Thank you.
Until
next
time.
Comment, share, subscribe, share,
subscribe,
and like and comment.
All of that. Everything.
Right. But we'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.